Day, gentle viewers. Welcome to another episode of Alistair Reviews It, and today we are going to be doing a romance video, my favorite romance video, in honor of Pride Month. So if you don't know what an romance is, it is a male-to-male romance, otherwise known as a gay romance. So I am not going to be doing any of these videos in any particular order. I'm just going to start from the top. So first we have Promises by Mary Sexton. Promises follows two characters, Jared and Matt. Jared is a hometown. He's kind of like the town's gay person, and Matt is an incoming. He's like an incoming recruit for like the police at the Colorado town, and they meet. They start going biking and hiking and all those Colorado things, and one thing goes from another, and they start forming a friendship, and that friendship turns into something else, and it's actually a pretty sweet story. So it's a sweet read. Next, I've got Hothead by Damon Suede. It stars Griff Muir and Dante Anastasio. They're both firefighters in New York City, and they're really close friends. So when Dante gets himself into some financial troubles, he approaches Griff about an opportunity to do porn, and Griff accepts it just so that they can get him out of financial troubles, and obviously that turns into something else. It sounds more like erotica, but it's actually a really good, solid story, and it's actually really sweet too. Next, I have Bear, Otter, and the Kid. And so Bear is when we start the book, he's a teenager, and his mother has just left him and his kid brother as he graduates high school, and so he's not able to go to college. He has to stay and take care of his kid brother, and at the same time there's feelings that are developing between him and his best friend's brother, who is Otter, and once those feelings come to the forefront, Otter kind of leaves, thinking that he's protecting Bear, when actually I think he's just creating more scars. So you kind of go through that situation and see what's going to happen to them. This is a series, but I really enjoyed the way the first book ended, so I didn't continue on with the series. So I like to keep it where it's nice. I don't know how it happens from here. Next is The Rebuilding Year by Kaje, Harper. This is another sweet story. I like feel-good stories, but it's takes after Ryan Ward and John Barrett. Ryan Ward was a former firefighter who got injured, and so he's going back to college in order to find a new profession. And John Barrett is kind of the landscape architect for the college, and they bump into each other. John Barrett actually has a spare room in his house, and so Ryan rents it out, and they develop a friendship, and that friendship turns into something else. There seems to be a certain theme to these books. Next one is Caught Running by Madeline Urban and Abigail Roux. I hope I said that right. So this follows Jake the jock and Brandon the nerd, and they were classmates in high school, but the book actually takes place 10 years after they've graduated, and they're both working there. Jake is a PE teacher / baseball coach, and Brandon is a chemistry / biology teacher. But Brandon is asked to do some after school help with the baseball team, and so Jake and Brandon start to develop a friendship. And again, that friendship might turn into something else. So next is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to really add this one, because I still haven't finished it. I have this much of the book left. I'll probably finish it today, actually. I read Circe, so I decided to go and read The Song of Achilles. I didn't realize that it had an MM romance in it, though I should have, because, actually, I'm not sure if everybody knows, but this story is told by Achilles' lover's point of view, Patroclus. And it's nice and refreshing to have a story that isn't necessarily just a full-on romance, but there's like a nice gay romance just tucked in, just like it's there. And we also have this huge other arc, which is Achilles', the hero story itself. Next is Crosscurrents by Adam Phillips. So this is actually a gay author's story. It's not an actual book. So I will link this down below. I started reading this late high school, early college, and it kind of helped for me coming to terms with my sexuality. And it's semi-autobiographical or autobiographical, I'm not sure. I believe it's autobiographical, but it follows Andy and his developing relationship with his friend Matt. They were teammates in high school, and their friendship becomes something else. And it's really Andy trying to struggle with perceptions and his sexuality, and he goes through high school and college, and thereafter him getting married to a woman, him falling in love with women, him it's just his story, and it's a refreshing point of view. I really enjoyed it. I'm not sure if there's any new chapters that he's gonna add to it, since he hasn't added anything since 2013. But what he has is definitely worth a read. Next is It Started With Brian by Dan Kincaid. He's another gay author. So I will link his story down below. It's sort of a bittersweet story because it's also autobiographical. It follows Sam, who basically writes about his life, and he writes about how it all started with his best friend Brian, who he sort of fell in love with. And then you go through his life, him struggling with his sexuality, him falling in love with just different people, him going through college, him getting into bad relationships with domestic abuse, and there's a lot of highs and there's a lot of lows, and unfortunately he wasn't able to finish his story, so he gave the notes for a story to the Crosscurrents author, Adam Phillips, and Adam Phillips was able to finish it for him because Sam passed before he could finish it. It's definitely worth your time. I wish somebody out there would actually go and make this an actual book and advertise for it, because it's a good story. It's a story that's worth your time. Lastly, Simon versus the Homo Sapien Agenda by Becky Albertalli. And most of you guys have not most of you guys. If you haven't seen the movie, you need to go see the movie, and then go read the book. I'd say see the movie, then read the book, because I've noticed that I enjoy the movie and the book more when I do that. But it follows Simon Spear, who is a not so openly gay person in school, and he is going through. Well, I guess he's struggling with coming to terms with his identity, and he starts talking online with another gay boy at his school called Blue. They don't know who each other are, and they send each other messages. One of his classmates finds the messages and decides to blackmail him, and basically the blackmail is that he gives that person kind of access to one of his best girlfriends, and it's about him struggling with his identity, with finding out who this Blue character might be, and then also with being a good friend at the end of the day. It's a very refreshing story, I think. Because it isn't really about him, like, oh, it's, in this town it's so hard to be gay. It's really about him coming to terms with himself before he changes what everybody perceives of who he is. I really enjoyed the book, and I really enjoyed the movie, and the movie is out on DVD now, so and Blu-ray. So if you want to support the cause and have more movies like this, more mainstream gay movies, I recommend going to pick one up. Yeah, that's it. So, happy Pride. I will link those stories down below. Oh, actually, if you are a fan of romance, or you want to follow something like that, or even just romance in general, I would recommend YouTuber Christina's Bookshelf. She does really in-depth reviews on her books, and you can definitely find some steamy ones out there. Yeah, happy Pride, and I will see you guys, my gentle viewers, later.